Today we are going to be learning two methods for finding which fraction is larger in a pair of fractions. Okay, for our first example, we're going to be using common denominator. Our fractions that we're going to be using for this example are 3/5 and 2/7. Okay, it is important to know before we start what a denominator is and what a numerator is. The denominator is the number that's on the bottom, like 5 and 7. The numerator is the number that's on the top, like 3 and 2. Because this is called a common denominator, we're going to be using the denominator, the bottom number, and we're going to bring it over to the across to the opposite fraction and multiply by each number in the fraction. So we're going to bring 5 over to 2/7. So we'll do 5 over 5. And we'll multiply both of those, and we'll do the same on the other side. So we'll bring the 7 over, multiply 7 over 7. So for this fraction, we'll do 2 times 5, which is 10, 7 times 5, which is 40, and then we'll do 3 times 7, which is 21, and 7 times 5, which is 40. As you can see, they both have the same denominator now, or common denominator. This is because we multiplied the same numbers on both sides. Now you can tell which number is larger by looking at the numerator. So 21 is larger than 10, so 21/40 is the larger fraction, or 3/5. If you look back up, 3/5 would be the larger fraction. And so always remember that you look down at the denominator and you make sure that they're both the same, so you have equally sized pieces for both fractions. And then you look up at the numerator, and whichever number is the larger fraction because you have more equally sized pieces. Okay, for our next example, we're going to be doing cross multiplication. So we'll see cross multiplication. Okay, now we're going to be using the same fractions for this one. So we're going to do 3/5, and we'll do 2/7. Okay, now this one is a little different. Rather than bringing the 5 over to both, we're only going to bring it up to the numerator on the opposite fraction, and we're only going to multiply these two. And we'll do the same for this, so we'll bring it up, and we'll do 7 times 3. Now this is a kind of shortcut. Rather than bringing over the 7 and multiplying it by both 3 and 5, we only do it by 3 because we know that if we did these two together, you would get a common denominator, so we don't need to do that. So we're going to do 7 times 3, which is 21, and 5 times 2, which is 10, and then we look for which one is larger. So 21 is larger, meaning that 3/5 is the larger fraction. Now we know that this is the larger fraction because if we were to multiply, let's say 5 times 7 and 3 times 7, we would get 21/40 like we did over here. And if we did the same over here, we would have the same denominator, which means that they have equally sized pieces, and we already know that. So 21, so when we get 21, 3/5 is the larger fraction.